We play your game.
It's a new season of Florida Gator baseball. The heart and soul of the team, senior Mark Ellis. He's joined by a few promising new faces. Aaron Walker, Matt Goss, and Ryan Sheely. There's new bats, but are they any different? And there's new bleachers beyond the left field fence. But baseball success is nothing new to these veteran head coaches. The Gators, Andy Lopez, and the Canes, Jim Morris. It's Florida and Miami next on Sunshine. Live from McKethan Stadium, Perry Field on the University of Florida campus in Gainesville, Sunshine Network presents Florida Gator Baseball. Today, the Gators meet the Miami Hurricanes. And a very pleasant good afternoon, everybody. I'm Mick Hubert. It's my pleasure to once again this season call the play-by-play for Florida Gator Baseball here on Sunshine Network. We're happy that you've joined us for another exciting season, and also happy to be back with my broadcast partner, former Gator great Nick Belmonte. Nick, the sun is out, the grass is freshly mowed, the ping of the aluminum bats is back, baseball is here.
Another great year of Florida Gator baseball, and after last season's Major League draft, the Gators were looking thinner than Ally McBeal. They lost 4 quality pitchers. They lost, All-American Brad Wilkerson, Josh Fogg, and, of course, 78 offensive home runs. So what did the Gators do? They reload. Andy Lopez doesn't think about rebuilding year. He goes out and gets top quality freshmen Alex Hart, Ryan Sheely, and then, of course, Kurt Keene, former SEC Player of the Year from Tennessee, gets him the transfer. And, of course, Greg Catalanotti is back. Mark Ellis is back. And the Gators look strong coming into this. Now, Jim Morris, on the other hand, for the University of Miami, he loses the middle of his lineup. Pat Burrell, everybody's All-American. He's gone, #1 pick of the draft. They lose 57 home runs in the middle of their lineup. They're going to be more of a running-type team this year.
Well, it'll be a lot of hitting, I would think, in college baseball again this year. But today, a sold-out stadium and a boatload of scouts here, Nick, to watch 2 promising, perhaps future Major League pitchers.
Every scouting director in the country is here today to see 2 people. That's Matt McClendon from the University of Florida. This is his year to shine, Mick. 95-mile-an-hour fastball. He's got to get that curveball going this year. If he does, it'll be his money year. Also, for the University of Miami, the winningest pitcher in college baseball last year, Alex Santos. This guy's money in the bank for Jim Morris. This is a good money year for him as well.
Santos last year 15-1, 25-4 in his career. Now Miami has played 3 games already. They are 3-0, and it's the debut for Florida Gator baseball here in 1999. We're glad you're with us. We'll come right back and have the first pitch for you as we continue on Sunshine.
This simple-looking device is the key to discovering your hidden potential. It can change the look and shape of every line and curve on your body. Because it's the weight, the challenge, and the secret behind one of the most effective fitness machines in the world. Introducing the Bowflex Power Pro. Bowflex uses patented power rod resistance to give you an incredibly smooth, natural feel for over 60 different health club quality exercises. With features like a built-in aerobic rowing exercise, convertible grips, and convenient folding capabilities, it's easy to see why a Bowflex was selected by Fitness Magazine as the best home gym. It's time to get the results you want with no money down and payments as low as $33 a month. Call right now for your free video and brochure and discover the look you've always wanted with the Bowflex Power Pro.
So, Steve, when do I get a shot at being assistant manager, huh? I've been here longer than that new guy, Joey.
You're not ready.
What? Come on, Steve. My track record speaks for itself. So what gives? You know we've got this new 99-cent big chicken sandwich deal going on, and I'm the one guaranteeing they're all made fresh every time. So why are you grooming Joey for management? He can't even work the grill. He's stupid!
He's my son.
Did I say stupid? Oh, I meant stupid in a good way. Checkers, fresh because we just made it.
And welcome back to beautiful McKeithen Stadium here in Gainesville for exciting Florida Gator baseball here for 1999. The Gators always with the destination for Omaha, hoping that the road will lead them there, knowing that there'll be some roadblocks and some detours, but hopefully no dead ends on the way, as the Gators have been to Omaha twice in the last 3 years. And across the way, the Miami Hurricanes, they have been to Omaha 5 consecutive seasons. These are 2 of college baseball's premier programs, and we're happy that you've joined us for another season of college baseball here on Sunshine Network. It is a marvelous day for baseball, bright sunny skies, warm temperatures, and a large crowd also coming into McKeithen Stadium. Last year, the Gators set an attendance record here at the ballpark. They drew 105,262, a record average of 2,631. And this year, the ballpark has been expanded to hold even more fans, expanded by some 500 seats with the new left field bleachers, which are making their debut as well, which will bring the capacity to 5,000 for Gator baseball. Last year, the Gators were 46-18, SEC champions 21-8, and a 3rd consecutive NCAA regional appearance as they made a trip to Omaha. And the Miami Hurricanes last year 51-12, also making the trip to Omaha for the 5th consecutive year. Miami off to a 3-0 start this year. Nick, they've got a little jump on the Gators here for this series.
And you always like to have a couple of games under your belt, settle the nerves before you get to play a big game like this. And Miami has done that, sweeping their first 3, then going on the road to play the Gators.
Well, the ceremonial first pitch today will be thrown by Gainesville's own Kevin Maris of the Maris family. Of course, it was quite a historic year in Major League Baseball in 1998 with the home run chase. Mark McGwire, Sammy Sosa taking on the record of Roger Maris, and the Maris family residing in Gainesville for so many years. All of them out there, including Pat Maris, the widow of the late Roger Maris. So it's quite a festive day here at McKeithen Stadium, as the crowd now comes to its feet to applaud the Maris family. They had quite a summer in 1998. And there's the ceremonial first pitch. We're happy that you could be with us for it here on Sunshine Network. Well, for Jim Morris and the Miami Hurricanes, here's the way they'll go today. Bobby Hill, the shortstop, will lead off. Brian Sieber in center field bats second. Manny Crespo, the second baseman, will hit third. Lally Escoval, the third baseman, back after a year at junior college, hits cleanup. First baseman Kevin Brown batting fifth. Russ Jacobson, the catcher, hits sixth. Out in right field hitting seventh is Mark Walker. Waylon Grubbs, the DH, will bat eighth. And the left fielder, Carlton Jimerson, will bat ninth. The Gator pitcher today will be Matt McClendon, a big, strong right-hander. He's 6'6", 225, a junior from Orlando. 9-5 last year. 6.49 is earned run average. The Gators have taken their field defensively, and we'll set them for you. In left field, Jason Dill. In center field, Matt Goss. In right field, Greg Cantalinoti. The infield from third to first has Matt Siegel, Mark Ellis, newcomer, former Tennessee Volunteer Kurt Keene at second base, freshman Ryan Sheely at first, the veteran Todd Johannes, though a veteran, making his first opening day start as the Gator catcher, and on the hill, as we mentioned, Matt McClendon. Well, the umpires for today's game, the home plate umpire is Dennis McComb, the first base umpire Pete Yellen, and the third base umpire is Rick Darby. Well, the Gators in their 1999 season opener, it's a tough schedule as always, and nothing tougher than for Andy Lopez to open the season against perennial power Miami.
We try to arrange it differently, but no. You know what, Nick? I mean, with our schedule, the SEC, 10 weeks, we start in March, and it's the only time we can play it in February. We play them in Florida State, obviously, and both these clubs are outstanding clubs and top 10 clubs. And, again, we find out some answers real quick.
Well, Andy Lopez beginning his 5th year as the head coach of Gator baseball. 168 and 84 his record, 167%, 3 SEC championships. He's undefeated on opening day, having won all 4 of his previous opening day games.
Well, Mick, last year Andy had his club play 3 here against Mercer, then traveled down to the University of Miami, and guys got pretty beat up down there, but came back here and did the job against the Canes when Miami came up to Gainesville. But this year, opening day, there's a lot of unanswered questions and a lot of jitters, and you're playing the number 2 team in the nation. So this is a very exciting time for some of these young Gator baseball players.
Well, it's a storied series, to be sure, between these 2 clubs. 76 Gator wins, 99 for Miami. The Gators have won 2 in a row, and they have won 6 straight here at McKeithen Stadium. Last year, the Gators here won 19-5 and 14-10 after they had been beaten twice down at Marklight Stadium at the venue for next weekend's games. As we mentioned, a very beautiful day for Gator baseball here in Gainesville. And Bobby Hill now makes his way to the batter's box. He's a 5'10" junior from San Jose, California. Bobby Hill, one of the great shortstops in college baseball. Left-hand hitter, as you see, hitting .364 in the first part of the season. And the first pitch is swung on and bounced into right field for a seeing eye single. And that's the way the 1999 Gator baseball season begins, as Hill singles to right.
You know, Bobby Hill, what a catalyst, considered by many the best shortstop in college baseball. His hero, Nomar Garcia-Parra, who he works out with on occasion, and starts this thing off with a ground ball through the right side. But that's kind of a good sign, too. Matt McClennan starting to give them something to hit. He's got to come into this year and not throw 140 pitches a game. He's going to put it in play a little bit and let his defense do the work.
Brian Seaver, the hitter, as the third baseman Matt Siegel creeps in on the grass. He shortens to Showbutt and takes it for the called strike.
Well, Seaver is a guy that really can lay down the bunt, move the runner along, so look for him to do that here.
Last year, Miami hit .335, including a record 139 season home runs. That evens the count at a ball in the strike.
Jim Morris right now, he has some decisions to make, possible hit and run. Hill can really move down there, runner at first base, and you got a young catcher back there as far as experience, and you may want to test him early.
Last year, Hill stole 46 bases in 57 attempts.
You got a guy like McClendon, big, tall, lanky pitcher, usually has a long delivery time that puts pressure on the catcher.
And there's a nice breaking ball for a strike.
What Matt does right there is good. He holds the ball for a long time, and the base runner's feet will hit the ground after a long time for the pitcher to hold the ball. It really upsets the timing of the base runner. Sometimes 1-2 not a bad time to send a runner because it's a breaking ball count.
Hill stays. The pitch swung on and off the end of the bat, pushed up the first base line. Well, one thing the Gators hope to improve upon this year is their defense. They were an awesome hitting team last year, but their defense was very poor. They made 1.92 errors a game, 123 of them, far too many in a breakdown, because the 3 previous seasons, Nick, Florida had excellent defense.
Stellar. And when you're talking about the aluminum bat world, and we'll get into that a little bit later, you can't give the opponents extra outs.
This pitch is popped up on the infield. The veteran, Mark Ellis, behind second base. One away.
Nice job of pitching by Matt McClendon. Stayed ahead of the count. Didn't give Seaver a chance to do anything with the bat. Moved the runner along. So that's a big out right there.
That brings up the second baseman, Manny Crespo, hitting .273 through Miami's first 3 games. Last year, Crespo, a freshman All-American, hit .348.
Growing up in Miami, I knew all about his dad, Manny Crespo Sr., who was a legend in Dade County sports. And sure he's a coach in the Marlins organization. I'm sure he had a lot to do with the development of this young man.
His son drafted in the 12th round by the Braves 2 years ago. Nick, are you surprised that Miami hasn't sent Hill yet?
I really am. I think that they need to start putting pressure on Johannes just to see what he can do. And if you got a guy with 40+ stolen bases, let's go.
And there he goes. Hit and run is on. The pitch is swung out and fouled to the third base side. So, you know, Jim Morris knows he's lost those 57 home runs from the 3, 4, and 5 guys last year. So maybe a little bit of a return to Miami baseball of once we used to know.
Yeah, it used to be a station-to-station run, hit and run, move the ball over, bunt them down there. Of course, at the end of the millennium here, it's the game has changed, but Miami might have to go more that route this year.
You're right. Nobody will play like they used to in the 80s, not with the big bats who, from all reports I get, Nick, they're different and they're no different. The results are about the same.
Right. We'll get into that here in a second, but from what I'm hearing, it's not a big difference.
A ball and a strike, the count.
Two-one count. I think you got to send Hill on this pitch right here.
Crespo last year had a streak of hitting a home run once during 4 straight games.
Yeah, he's amazing. I mean, 16 home runs for a second baseman, and comes in here batting third in the lineup. Of course, they lost the entire middle of their lineup. Pat Burrell, Aubrey Huff, Jason Michaels.
2-1 pitch, runner going, and it's a base hit into left field. Hill slips, but the throw comes ahead to third, and Hill allowed to pick himself up, return to second. So the Canes now with a pair of hits and runners at first and second with 1 out here in the opening inning.
And don't be surprised you see double steal here. There's always that possibility. 2-1 pitch, fastball up. Crespo hits on top of it. Hill, as you saw, running with the pitch, but hit so hard to left field, really nowhere else to go.
Wally Esquivel now the cleanup hitter. Texas native who played at Northeast Texas Community College last year after he played with the Canes in the '97 season.
Well, you know, he thinks it through, and he sees Pat Burrell back at third base for another year, and he said, well, I want to get some at-bats. So he goes down to junior college and does just that, and once Burrell leaves, he's right back at UM.
On the outside corner for a called strike. Last year in junior college, Esquivel hit .396, 17 home runs, 75 RBI.
He's got some pop. I mean, here's the guy. You look at those arms. He looks like the brawny towel man. Again, you got your speed on the bases, and a double steal here is not out of the question.
A ball and a strike to Esquivel. He's hitting .273 in the early going here with 3 hits in his first 11 trips.
In a series like this, you always want to take the crowd out. Miami would love to get a big hit here and score a few runs early.
Runners at first and second. Missing away, and it's now 2-1.
And throwing breaking ball right there. 2-1. He probably has to come in now.
Two balls and a strike. 2 on, 1 out. Just the start of things. This pitch hit in the air to center field. Matt Goss in a couple of steps. And now 2 away here in the top of the first inning.
Came in with the fastball, said go ahead, hit it. And it was a line drive right at Goss. As we thought may happen, Hill took off on that pitch, so a little double steal action. He's right on top of it, fastball down the middle. I mean, when you fall behind the count with runners on base, you're forced to do that, but Matt Goss makes the play.
That brings up the first baseman, Kevin Brown. Big guy, 6'5" and 225 out of North Fort Myers. Swings on the first pitch and pops it sky high, but behind the plate and on the roof.
Those are coasters, right?
On the roof.
Up on the roof?
Yes.
Okay.
You still have their 8-track, don't you?
Oh, played it on the way over.
I thought you did.
Got my mood ring on. I'm ready to go.
Missing away again. 1-1.
Matt snapped at the ball. He's got to keep his composure here. It's just another pitch. Well, it was a good pitch, but it was a ball. You just got to keep your composure and keep throwing.
2 on and 2 out. Runners moving again, but foul straight back. It wasn't last year as if Miami did not run, despite a record number of home runs.
Right.
They stole 136 bases.
It's overshadowed. Yeah.
They set a boatload of team records last year, including the home runs, the RBIs, the slugging percentage, total bases, even strikeouts. There's the pitch swung out and single. No, it's a liner cut by Keane. Thought maybe it might get over his head, but Keane ranging to the bag makes the line drive catch. And Miami threatens, but the Canes fail to score. 2 hits, no runs, 2 left. Middle of the first inning, Miami nothing. And the Gators are coming up.
Children are our most precious gift, yet we allow them to suffer. Thousands are dying each day from hunger and disease. And you can do something. You can save one child.
Call Christian Children's Fund and help us save one needy child through your love and generosity.
The number is on your screen. Ask for a picture of a child you can sponsor.
There's a child out there you can help. Please call now.
For Andy Lopez, the Gator batting order today. Shortstop Mark Ellis, third baseman Matt Siegel, and left fielder Jason Dill. The middle part of the order, Greg Cantalinoti, Kurt Keene, and Ryan Shealy. In the lower third, the DH Aaron Walker, the catcher Todd Johannes, and the center fielder Matt Goss. They'll look at the slants of the right-hander for Miami, Alex Santos, 6'1", 200-pound junior out of Lake Worth, 15-1 last year. 25-4 in his career, 3.25 his career earned run average. And behind him, the Miami defense, Charlton Jemerson in left, Brian Seaver in center, Mark Walker in right, Lally Esquivel at third, Bobby Hill at short, Manny Crespo at second, Kevin Brown at first. Behind the plate is Russ Jacobson and Alex Santos with a record of 1-0 on this young season. The right-hander for Miami.
And did you see that? 28 walks and 148 strikeouts. That's phenomenal. He's got all the pitches, fastball, curve, slider, change. And he throws 2 different fastballs. He's got the 2-seam and the 4-seam. The 2-seam gives you the movement. The 4-seam's the power pitch.
Here's the heart and soul of the Gator club in '99. 4-year veteran Mark Ellis. Last year hit .338. 14 home runs, 51 runs batted in.
And you look at those numbers, and that's after an injury-hampered slow start. The NCAA regional MVP. I mean, they just rode his back last year all the way to Omaha.
Yeah, he hit 500 in that regional tournament here. On the corner, 1 and 2. He missed, as you mentioned, 14 games with injuries. The Gators played 64. He played in 50, started all 50.
Right, and that's what he missed, and he probably played another 15 hurt.
On the ground to the second baseman. Crespo to Brown. One gone. Well, Jim Morris now at his 6th year, highly successful Miami coach, 5 straight trips to Omaha, but he also knows it's always tough when you play a backyard rival like the Gators.
Well, I think these guys know that it's a big series. There's no question. I think it's a sellout. The crowd today is supposed to be here because we couldn't get tickets for some of our fans. So it's going to be the biggest crowd a lot of these guys played in front of, particularly, and I'm talking about the young guys who are just coming in here. So they're going to have to really focus and make sure that they keep their ears on the field and their eyes on the field and not listen to people hollering at them.
Well, Matt Siegel wastes no time in getting his first hit for 1999 as Siegel singles to center.
Fine young player, did a nice job last year. Cracking the Gator starting lineup, starting 46 games, ended up hitting .342 and starts this one off with a bang on a liner up the middle.
Well, here's Jason Dill, Gators sophomore from Punta Gorda, Charlotte High School. Last year at .277, but he had 16 home runs, a Gator freshman record, and 51 RBI.
At .277, believe me, that's tough to hit .277 as a freshman going through the SEC for the first time and playing first base, a power position where you're expected to knock in runs and hit home runs. And amazing thing is he's, according to Andy Lopez, he's made the transition to left field quite nicely and pleasantly surprised how easily he's handled it.
Talking about Manny Crespo last year from Miami, once homering in 4 straight games. Jason Dill said, I did that. He had homered in 4 straight games for the Gators from April 3rd to April 8th last year. So he also got going. A promising player for Florida who's moved to left field this year.
University of Miami has Russ Jacobson behind the plate, a guy that's a proven catcher back there, great catch and throw guy, and he's going to be tough to run on. Todd Johannes, the Gator catcher, good catch and throw guy, but untested.
And a strike is called. Last year, the Gators stole 84 bases out of 124. And Andy would like to run more, but he knows in this day and age of college baseball, you don't steal as much. He'd love to manage the old way, but it's almost the Earl Weaver managing style now in college baseball. Sit back and wait for a 3-run home run. You might have 2 or 3 in a game.
I was going to say, it's going to happen. Probably more than once. Yeah, you can't, you got to be real stingy about moving runners along these days, giving up outs, because you get back to the middle of your order, they can hit home runs every time.
Miami last year was excellent defensively. They had a .974 fielding mark, and they made just 1 error a game. They were outstanding.
And that's what wins. Doesn't sound like it would, but that's what wins you games in Omaha.
Hit to the opposite way. Jimerson going over, can't track it down. It one-hops the fence. Here's Siegel coming around third. Steve Kling waves him home, and the Gators take the lead 1-0. On a stand-up double to the opposite field off the bat of Jason Dill.
Did a nice job of hitting, taking it where it was pitched. Jimerson, a little bit of trouble out there picking the ball up. If he gets it cleanly, there may be a play at the plate. Breaking ball, keeps his hands back. Nice job of hitting right there. And just goes with it, kind of inside outs it. And you see Jimerson having a tough time out there, negotiating the wall with the new bleachers. I'm sure the fans are out there helping him a little bit, pointing it out for him, but had a tough time getting it back. And there's Matt Siegel scoring the Gators' first run in '99.
So a 1-0 lead for Florida off the right-hander Alex Santos. And now there's Greg Catalanotti. Last year for the Gators hit .360. 13 home runs, 61 runs batted in. He had an 18-game hitting streak last year from March 14th to April 14th.
A solid performer. I mean, went out there opening day and just played every game and played a little right field, a lot of center field, and was a nice addition to the Gator offense last year.
And a high strike. 0-2.
If Greg can just have the same type of year he had last year, not try to do more because it's a senior year, just stay around that 360 mark, double-digit home runs, knock in between 60 and 70 runs, and it surprised me is this guy did not get drafted.
Inside out swing, fouls it back. Into the stands, and a fan has made a nice catch. So they're ready after a January spring training. Catalanotti, along with Wilkerson, were the only two Gators to play every game, start every game last year.
And besides his offense, probably the best arm in the club from the outfield.
There's a ball that's swung on and dropped, but Jacobson completes the strikeout and the throw to Brown. So 2 away now. Well, Santos, a big strikeout pitcher last year. In 110 innings, he fanned 142.
For our fan who caught the foul ball, that's a Subway great catch.
So 2 out, a runner still at second base. And that'll bring up Kurt
Now
Keene,
back to the Gators, the
former
baseman,
Tennessee
number 5,
volunteer,
Kurt
who's
Keene.
a welcomed addition to this club and playing second base. He played a lot of third base at Tennessee, but wants to play second base here, at a position the Gators are more happy to oblige.
And he contacted Andy about coming over, and Andy and Rod Delmonico at Tennessee, they're friends, so I think it just a change of scenery was needed. The two coaches were able to oblige the move, and here he is. And here's a guy that was SEC Player of the Year his freshman year, or SEC Freshman Player of the Year 2 years ago.
Bouncing ball out toward short, behind the bag. Hill with a good throw, and that retires Keene and the Gators. But not before the Gators score a first inning run on Dill's RBI double. They get 1 run on 2 hits. There was a man left, and after the first inning here at McKethan Stadium, it's the Gators 1 and Miami nothing. On Sunshine Network is brought to you by Sprint Yellow Pages, the most red Yellow Pages. Well, there's a look at the swamp beyond the O-Dome, which will be sold out tonight for Gator basketball against Ole Miss, as we make our way back into McKethan Stadium, which is also near a sellout crowd of approximately 5,000 here today to watch the opening game between Florida and Miami, and the Gators with a 1-0 lead. As we move to the Canes, top of the second, it'll be the catcher Russ Jacobson leading it off. Jacobson last year hit .314, 9 home runs, 38 runs batted in, started 54 of the 55 games in which he played, and had a good World Series. He led the Canes in Omaha, was 4 for 9 out there.
And this is the first time of the year in 1999 that Matt McClendon has gone out there with a lead, and let's see if he shuts the opponents down. We talk about shutdown points. If your team scores the next inning, you got to throw that 0 up on the scoreboard.
High fly ball. Goss again. Second fly ball he's caught today. 1 gone here in the top of the second.
And why that's important, it just keeps the momentum going. Every time you could shut your opponents down after your team scores, momentum stays on your side of the field. And it's something that Matt needs to really concentrate on as the year goes, because it really helps your defense, it helps your offense, and just puts the right frame of mind in your dugout.
Here's Mark Walker. First pitch taken for a ball. He's the right fielder. Walker hitting .400 in the early going for Miami. 4 for 10. No home runs, 3 runs batted in. Another fly ball. That's the soup du jour today.
Well, what I like, what's happening here with McClendon, he's going after the hitters. He's giving them something to hit, not necessarily just serving it up there, but not trying to finesse the bottom of the order, something that he had done in the past years where 7, 8, and 9 comes up and he's throwing them, breaking balls and nibbling. Now he's going after these guys. You got to conserve some pitches, because when it gets down, 5th, 6th inning, 7th inning, you get your second win. You want to have something there in reserve. So it's important that he breezes through. He's got good enough stuff to get through the bottom of most college baseball teams' batting order.
Here's Waylon Grubbs, junior out of Louisville, Texas, hitting .222. Has hit 1 home run this year. The Canes have hit 2 home runs in their first 3 games. Grubbs has 1. Seaver has the other.
Grubbs hit his Friday night against Stetson.
This guy's got surprising power for 5'10", 195 pounds. Now McClendon bidding to have a 1-2-3 inning. And he's retired 5 in a row. 3 up, 3 down. We move to the last of the second. It remains 1-0 Gators.
Homeowners, now you can have the best garden in your neighborhood with tasty vegetables, beautiful flowers, fresh herbs, and your favorite plants, but without all the backbreaking work. Introducing the all-new line of legendary Troy-Bilt tillers, now with a tiller for every garden and budget. Built to last a lifetime, one of the secrets of Troy-Bilt's superior performance is the patented Bolo Tines that chop and bury organic matter to improve your soil, so everything you plant grows healthier and stronger. Call and discover how the Troy-Bilt tiller makes it easier to prepare soil and to care for your garden with less work. Learn how when you send for your free 52-page Great Gardens catalog today. Call now and we'll also send details about Troy-Bilt's limited time offer of free financing, free shipping, and a free bumper.
For your free catalog and information about our new line of Best Built, Best Buy Troy-Bilt tillers, call toll-free 1-800-898-3600. That's 1-800-898-3600. Call now.
The Lady Gator basketball team returns home for a Thursday, February 11th. Well, we invite you to tune into Sunshine Network tonight as Billy Donovan and the Gator basketball team will host the Ole Miss Rebels. The tip-off set for 10 o'clock on Sunshine Network. Here's that final pitch, Nick.
This pitch right down the middle. Obviously, Johannes looking for something else. And look, I'm not a doctor, but I am not sitting in the rows in front of that. Scouts with their radar guns.
There's Mary Wise, your volleyball coach. For the Hurricanes, Charlton Jemerson, number 9 hitter in the lineup.
Maybe one of the smartest players on the field today. Came to the University of Miami on an athletic scholar. I'm sorry, it's an academic scholarship. Computer engineering.
He kind of recruited himself, kind of recruited Miami, didn't he?
Yeah.
Out in Hayward, California.
Probably just emailed him.
Yeah. Sharply hit back up the middle, and Ellis can't come up with it. That's a single into center field. The Canes' 3rd hit of the ball game, and a leadoff single. And now we'll see what Miami does almost the second time around, because Bobby Hill led off the game with a single. I would imagine there aren't many times this year when they get their leadoff runner aboard that they don't score. And here now, for the second time in 3 innings, they've got their leadoff runner on base.
And Jemerson can run 9 out of 10 in the stolen base department last year. And you got it right where you want them, too. If you're University of Miami, you got the top of the order, guys that can really work the bats, and Hill and Seaver coming up.
Bobby Hill had a seeing eye single into right field his first trip.
Sometimes you don't send your runner on the first pitch with a left-handed hitter up, leaving that right side open. That's where Hill got the ground ball single to start the ball game.
Hill has hit well against Florida in his career. He's hitting .350 in his career with that first inning hit. He's now 14 for 40. Much like Ellis, he's kind of the heart and soul of this Miami team.
Oh, no question. And they mirror each other as far as what they mean to their ball club.
2 outstanding shortstops here today. Now McClendon falls behind in the count at 2-0.
And Jemerson fell when he got his jump right there. I think he was starting to go, and on his second step kind of stumbled and came back.
Gators leading 1-0. We're in the top of the third. Another fly ball out toward Goss. And Goss has his 4th fly ball of the ball game.
There's a case where Matty challenged him down 2-0 in the count and enticing a routine fly ball to center field. So that's a bullet dodged right there, because if Hill gets on, you know, Matt's in big trouble with the heart of the order coming up.
Here's Brian Seaver. He popped out to the shortstop, Mark Ellis, his first trip. There goes Jimerson. The pitch, a ball. Here's Johannes' throw. It's a good one. He's out at second base. Has to be a big confidence builder for Johannes back there to throw out the speedy Jimerson.
He said a catch and throw guy. The only thing is he's untested as far as playing in the big game. What you talk about, as you said, and then Seaver does a nice job keeping him back, bluffing the bunt, and this throw is right there.
Mark Ellis taking the throw, and so now 2 out, but nobody on base. And the count has gone to 2 balls, no strikes to Seaver.
That little move that Seaver did when the runner was going, he bluffed a bunt, and what that does, it keeps the catcher from jumping out of there and catching the ball about a half step up. He has to wait and see what happens on the bunt.
Three and 1 to Seaver.
And also what it also does when the hitter bluffs the bunt, and impairs the vision of the catcher.
And a full count.
Well, if he can get out of here on this pitch, just be a nice inning and a confidence builder for Matt.
McClendon here at McKeithen Stadium in his career is 10 and 3. He really performed well when the Gators needed it down the stretch last year. He won 7 of his last 9 decisions. All 3 in strike 2. Popped it up. Johannes with the mask off. It's behind the plate. He's looking up for it. And a nice catch behind the plate by Johannes. And so for the second time in 3 innings, Miami gets a leadoff runner aboard, but the Canes have failed to score. 1 hit, no runs, nobody left. Last of the third coming. It remains 1-0. Back at McKeithen Stadium. You get a nice little suntan today, can't you, Nick? Sitting right in the booth we can. Yeah, they love Gator baseball. Again, a record attendance last year, 105,000 plus, and they'll probably exceed that this year with the expansion of the ballpark. It's a beautiful facility here. Nice working press box, and all of us in the media love.
And every one of those shots you just saw is the reason why you come to the University of Florida. And to play baseball here.
And to broadcast.
That's right.
Top of the 4th inning. Florida leads 1-0. Here's the 3, 4, and 5 hitters this inning for Miami as Manny Crespo looks at ball 1.
If I was a recruit, I'd go just for a second, peruse the Weather Channel right now, and then come back and say, yeah, I think I want to go to Florida.
There's a high fly ball in the left. Dill looking up at the wall. It is gone. Crespo cranks a solo home run to left. And it is 1-1. His first home run of the year. That was a very high, towering shot.
I woke up the Cane faithful that traveled up to Gainesville.
Well, that's the way to score your leadoff hitter.
You can see it up in his zone, and it's the first home run in the bleacher area. This would be a trivia question.
Wally Esquivel now the hitter. Flied out to Goss in center his first trip. Bouncing ball, Ellis from the grass. Seeley couldn't dig it out. He'll probably be scored a hit. But you never know.
Yeah, every time you bounce a ball, you give the benefit of the doubt to the hitter, and they do give it a hit. But Ellis, nice job right there. The throw had him beat, but the hop is always unpredictable. Some you get, some you don't. That was kind of an in-betweener, so made it a little bit difficult for the freshman.
Here's Kevin Brown. Nothing for one in the game. Lined out to Kurt Keene to conclude the first inning. And a base hit into left field. That's 3 consecutive hits off McClendon, who threw 3 innings today and made just 39 pitches. He had a good low number there, but they're 3, 4, and 5 hitters, all with base hits here in this 4th inning.
The catcher, number 21, Russ Jacobson.
He's trying to start him off. Fastball right down the middle, and equal to the challenge is Brown. That's going to happen sometimes. He started off in those first 3 innings, 8 out of his first 11 hitters that he faced, 8 of his first pitches were strikes. And Andy Lopez, who now also has the duty of pitching coach, is going to go out and talk to Matt McClendon for the first time this year. Pitching coach of the last few years, Gary Henderson, now at Portland State. I'm sorry, Oregon State.
Of course, Andy was his own pitching coach mostly at Pepperdine, including the '92 College World Series championship season.
Well, actually, this is what Andy prefers, to be the pitching coach as well. But when he got the job at Florida, he was told that he's not going to have enough time to be the pitching coach. And if it's something that you're good at and you're something that you love, it's tough to separate yourself from that part of the game. It's such a big, important part of your team. So, especially a year like this year, he's got so many young pitchers out there. I think it's going to be a nice challenge and a fun challenge for Andy.
So the catcher, Russ Jacobson, now with runners at first and second and nobody out.
Well, they're showing bunt right here. One of the things that Andy was talking about with first and second, nobody out, while he was talking to Matt McClendon, was setting up the defense and see how they want to play this. Looks like they're going to go straight up defensively.
And he fouls it back.
And straight up just means that the first and third baseman creep down and shortstop takes second, second baseman takes first. Now, to get this thing done, if you're Russ Jacobson, you just want to bunt it right at the third baseman. It could be hard, it could be soft, but you want to make the third baseman feel that if you accomplish that, then you get the sacrifice done. It's the easiest way to do it.
Esquivel at second. Brown is on at first.
And the reason why McClendon did that, they're not worried about Esquivel stealing. They just want to see if Jacobson changes it up here and shows bunt. Jim Morris could take the bunt off and have him swing. You never know.
Just missing away.
And the bunt wasn't on that pitch.
Jacobson out of Scottsdale, Arizona. Drafted in the 23rd round by the Devil Rays in '96. Nice pitch there.
Now Jacobson has himself in a hole, and the odds of getting the bunt down now decreased immensely.
A ball and 2 strikes to count. Struck him out swinging. Good high hard one from McClendon. And that for Matt is his first strikeout of the day, and it comes at a fine time.
Yeah, there's times when you need the strikeout. That's why we talk about conserving your pitches, because this is the time, and you can see fastball away. He's ahead of the count, but Jacobson's got to protect, so he has to chase after it. There are times when you need strikeouts, and that's one of them.
McClendon was almost a strikeout and inning pitcher last year. 109 Ks and 113 2/3 innings. Here's Mark Walker. Check swing for a strike.
I mean, there's times in the ball game where you don't need to be striking people out. Let your defense go ahead and play. You know, you could be, you know, up a few runs, 4 or 5 runs, and down in the bottom of the order. You don't need to be striking everybody out. Put it in play. Conserve your energy a little bit. Be around the plate. Let your defense work for you.
Now Johannes will have a word with McClendon.
But I tell you, mentally, it's tough to tell a young pitcher, too, because here it is, a guy, McClendon, who could throw 95 miles an hour. He's got 30 scouting directors in the stands. They all got radar guns, as you've seen. And it's hard to tell a kid, you know, hey, work the breaking ball, work the change. You know, sometimes it's easier said than done. He knows what's going on. He knows a game like this can make him a lot of money down the road.
1-1 the count. Showing bunt and pushing it foul. Well, now he's got him in the hole, 1-2.
I'm not sure there. I agree with bunting with first and second. You got a runner in scoring position.
And with 1 out, yeah. A whole lot of pressure on the on deck there. Waylon Grubbs. Well, here McClendon would like to have another strikeout, if not a ground ball right at somebody. 2 on, 1 out. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Got just a piece of it.
Just hangs in there. Nice job at just messing up a good pitch, as they say. Live to swing another day, and he battles it right there, does Mark Walker.
Walker has never been drafted. A little thin when he got to Miami, but he put on 25 pounds since his arrival. McClendon backed him away. Two on, 2 balls, 2 strikes. A 1-1 tie here in the top of the 4th inning. Skied toward the opposite field, but out of play down the right field line.
Talking to Jim Morris about Mark Walker, he said he's the type of guy that if he went to a tryout camp or the scouts here had a little mini camp, he would grade out higher than anyone on the University of Miami team because he does all the 5 tools well. He runs well, he throws well, he hits with power.
And again, the 2-2 pitch. Well, now 3-2 as McClendon misses way away. He's yet to walk anyone.
Well, let's see it. Jim Morris getting frisky here. He could send his big third baseman here. He doesn't have speed abound on the bases, but it is a 3-2 count.
There they go. The pitch hit on a high pop. Foul ground right side. Ryan Sheely in foul territory. 2 away.
Well, it had so much hang time on it. Had it not, Gators had a chance of doubling off Kevin Brown at first base.
The designated hitter, number 19.
So far, McClendon now has done a good job of settling down after the trip to the mound by Coach Lopez. But still a dangerous hitter. The DH, Waylon Grubbs, steps in. 2 on with 2 out.
He's got those interesting uniforms with the half sleeve. That reminds you of the Jetsons. High school had those.
1-0 pitch, foul back. Is that right?
Yeah, North Miami High, we had those. Of course, the Jetsons were very popular back then. I think we had the same uniform Steve Carlton wore. A lot of people don't know where he went to high school, North Miami High. As did Kurt Bavacqua.
I know you're a big fan of that new TV show, Nick, the 60s show. Have you seen that yet?
I thought it was the 70s show.
1-1 pitch. Well, you're a decade late. 2-1.
Hey, it's just Weather Channel infomercials for me, pal.
Fouled it back again. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 on.
And my new hero, Emerald.
Yes. He can cook up a storm, can he?
Pick it up a notch.
Fouled it back again. Runners return to their bases as Esquivel moves to second. And Brown returns to first. Matt McClendon gave up a solo home run to lead the 4th inning off. Manny Crespo tied it at 1-1. McClendon trying to keep it at bay here right now. And he struck him out. McClendon battled back nicely. The Canes had runners at first and second, nobody out. But McClendon struck out 2 of the next 3 hitters. 1 run on 3 hits, 2 left. We move to the last of the 4th. It remains 1-1.
If you love golf and have had a chance to play much in the last few months, then you're probably familiar with the amazing success of the Tri-Metal line of fairway woods. Well, now there's a new Tri-Metal.
Tip-off is at 4. It's a school holiday for Alachua and Marion County Public Schools. Kids get in free. Adults can get their free ticket with a video rental at Blockbuster Video Stores in Gainesville, Ocala, and selected Jacksonville locations. Top of the 5th inning. There's a ground ball past the glove of Matt Siegel. Jimerson has himself a base hit, the 7th of the game, and it has now been a leadoff man reaching base for Miami in 4 of the first 5 innings.
Jimerson looking fastball, got it inside, got the bat going inside, moving those hands through on the inside part of the plate. Sometimes a tough pitch to turn on, especially at the velocity that McClendon throws it, but was able to get the hands moving inside.
Bobby Hill with a big swing and a miss. That was good to see Kevin Maris. I live right down the street from his brother Roger, and so good to see Kevin, who we didn't get a chance to chat with about, but he is the head baseball coach at Oak Hall High School here in Gainesville. So that's what he meant when he referred to his batting practice arm he has. He throws a lot of BP. There goes the runner, but time had been called. Good speed by Jimerson, but all for naught.
They have, in my travels during the summer, being a director of baseball operations with the Northern League, we have a team in Fargo, and the Roger Maris Museum is in Fargo, and they had a special day there for the Maris family. They retired his dad's number. So it's a city that knows all about the Maris tradition. And they did not want to see that record broken in the city of Fargo. There was a lot of articles written up there during the summer.
Yeah, I'm sure they wanted to preserve. That was the 62nd pitch, by the way, that McClendon has thrown. He had 39 through 3, but then threw about 20 in that 4th inning. But he wiggled off the hook after giving up a leadoff home run to start the 4th. And runners at first and second, and then struck out 2 of the next 3. 1-1 the count to Bobby Hill.
Well, what I like what Matt did with Bobby on the first pitch, because Matt sort of gotten in a groove of starting everybody off first pitch fastball, and Hill was looking for it, and he threw the off-speed pitch and had Hill way out in front.
There goes Jimerson. The pitch swung out and missed. The throw is high, and Jimerson is safe at second base. That's the first steal after Johannes had thrown out Jimerson the last time he tried.
And you see, he just went down there on his first step, got a nice jump, kept his head down, didn't look back in. On a straight steal, you go all the way right towards the bag. If the guy hits a line drive, he doubled up anyway, whether you look or not. So that was a straight steal. A nice guy, nice jump right there.
McClendon would love a strikeout of Hill, but it's a bouncing ball back up the middle into center field. Let's see if they wave home Jimerson. Nope, they'll put the brakes on him. Ball wasn't hit sharply enough, and they have runners now on the corners with nobody out.
I don't know what happened there. I mean, even the ball hit up the middle. Jimerson's got to be thinking third base on the ball hit on the ground, and really did not get got a terrible jump. I don't know if he slipped or what. And Jim Morris is talking to him right now. A ground ball hit that side. Jimerson's got to be taken off for third base, and you got to think with his speed, he's scoring on that. His ball's really slows down once it gets to the grass, and you can see Jimerson going back to second base on a ground ball hit to his left, and that's a base running mistake right there, and I think that cost the Canes a run. But with no out, things are looking good here for them.
Ryan Seaver, the hitter, 0 for 2 in the game. There goes Hill. There'll be no throw. A stand-up steal.
Yeah, it puts a lot of pressure on the defense. First, third, nobody out. You got a great base stealer out there. Johannes couldn't get the ball out of his glove and didn't force any throw.
All right, now Andy Lopez is going to come out of the dugout. I don't know if the Gators felt there was an interference at the plate or not. You see Andy talking there with Dennis McComb, the home plate umpire.
Well, what had happened was Johannes just didn't get the ball out of his glove. He did not stop his throw because the hitter was interfering. Now the fans thought the hitter interfered and got in the way of Johannes, but that's not the case. No, believe me, he did not. That's not interference.
Here's a push bunt. It'll score the go-ahead run. Shealy will make the play for the first out. Hill moves to third as Jimerson scores, and Miami leads it 2-1.
Scored at 3 unassisted on a sacrifice right there. Wasn't really a squeeze, but just a nicely laid bunt with Shealy playing about even with the bag. Just a little push bunt down to first base.
Number 8, Manny Crespo.
Seaver, a guy that knows all the fundamentals. Played at Sac City Community College for Jerry Weinstein, as you see Jimerson scoring.
Well, here's Manny Crespo, who the last time up hit a solo home run in the left field bleachers. He's 2 for 2 in the game. McClendon will work out of the stretch with the runner at third. Good change up there.
In order for that play back then to be interference, he would have had to impede the throw of Johannes, and you clearly saw that in the replay. He was actually bailing towards the dugout. What made the fans skeptical what was going on was Johannes double clutch as if there was an interference. That's not why he threw the ball, but he just didn't get the ball out of his hand cleanly.
1-1 the count to Crespo. It's sharply past Siegel into left field. Another run will score. Crespo heading for second. He's got a double. He's 3 for 3, and the Canes lead 3-1.
Manny Crespo picking up in 99 where he left off in 98. Just a fine hitter right here. First pitch, fastball. Pitch was up, but he got around it. Drove it down the line. So Crespo today needs a triple for the cycle.
Escobar is 1 for 2 in the ball game today.
You don't see anybody up in the Gator bullpen because this is the year where Matt McClendon needs to get through these innings.
0-2 now.
It's his time to battle through. He's the ace. No matter what the competition, he's expected to get through innings like this.
Needing a strikeout here. We have a runner at second. with just one away. Got just a piece of it, fouling it weakly into the Gator dugout.
Through an 0-2 breaking ball off the plate. He can go a couple ways here. Fastball up. See if he can go up the ladder and chase it. We'll try to really go outside with a breaking ball here.
Crespo at second, one away. Jammed him, and he fought it off.
That sets up a breaking ball away on this pitch. Came inside on the hands and tied him up.
No balls, 2 strikes to Lolly Esquivel. A little low there.
And there it was. It was a good act of discipline by Esquivel. Down in the count, a lot of times a hitter will chase a pitch like that.
The Canes with 2 runs here in the 5th, and they've taken a 3-1 lead. Didn't get the call there. It's 2-2.
Don't be surprised if Crespo times one here and takes a jump for third. Looks like he's trying to measure the windup here with Matt. Pitch right there, down and away, just missed.
Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Pulled the string a bit. And for McClendon now his 3rd strikeout.
Breaking ball right here, and it's a dandy. Not much Esquivel could do with that. Just one of these deals where, hey, guy made a great pitch. Went after it, come and get him next time.
Kevin Brown now, 1 for 2 today. And strike 1. Brown was a goalkeeper on his high school soccer team. 6'5" and 225 goalkeeper. Base hit left field. Dill comes up charging. They're waving the runner home. Here's the throw to the plate. It's a good one. The tag. He is out at home plate. Dill to Johannes. They tag out Crespo. Good throw by Dill. And we'll take a look. Going to break. The Canes get 2 runs on 4 hits. Halfway through today, it's now Miami 3 and Florida 1.
He said he knew where he was going. My husband, the human compass.
You okay?
Yeah, fine.
She knows we're lost.
I said we should have looked this antique place up.
Well, we invite you to tune into Sunshine Network Monday as Penny Hardaway and the Orlando Magic host Antoine Walker and the Boston Celtics. The coverage begins at 7 o'clock live right here on Sunshine Network. Now there's action in the Miami bullpen as you take a look at left-hander Brian Walker warming up down there. But Santos has been good through 5. 1 run, 4 hits he's allowed. And his team has a 3-1 lead as the Canes will come to bat here in the top half of the inning number 6.
We're finishing up as you see the Gator bullpen starting to stir. The bat differentials, actually it was a 5 bat differential last year. If you had a 35-inch bat, it could be no less than 30 ounces, but that's a huge difference. You can really get a bat that size through the zone.
Russ Jacobson leading it off for Miami here in the 6th. He's 0 for 2 today.
You know, people like Skip Bertman are saying even though it's a differential of 3, you still got a 35-inch bat with 32 ounces being swung by big collegians. He's not going to expect any different.
Ellis up with it, throwing out the Miami catcher. And also we get word now that Vince Vasquez is warming up in the Miami bullpen too.
And Mick, also they haven't taken away these inflatable air bladders they have in the barrel and all these souped up things that they have inside, so that hasn't changed at all. So they think it may affect the smaller player, but don't tell that to Manny Crespo. Already got 1 out today.
Mark Walker, who made a fine running catch to take care of the Gators last inning, now looks at strike one. Walker 0 for 2 today. High chopper. Siegel had a chance at a long throw, but can't get it out of the glove. Maybe a little top spin, overspin, came right out of there, and a base runner for the Canes, and they're going to give him a hit. That's their second infield hit.
Hit on top of the ball, just beat it right into the ground. And the fact that Siegel had to reach that high for it, I assume, is the reason why he escapes the error tag.
Runner at first, one out. Here's Waylon Grubbs. Last year, the Canes averaged 10.1 runs a game. Florida averaged better than 8 runs a game. There's the pitch. It's a strike. The runner is going. The throw not in time. And after Johannes gunned down Jimerson, the Canes have since stolen 3 bases off the Gator catcher.
Well, yeah, they're still gonna test him because you still have a couple of things in your favor. You got fast runners. You got a pitcher that on certain counts is going to give you a longer delivery time, and you know you still have a guy that you want to see if he can throw us out on a consistent basis.
That's a ball hit down the left field line, a base hit. Walker will score. Grubbs around first. He's heading for second. A stand-up double, an RBI. Walker makes it now 4-1. And maybe time in the game for Siegel to start hugging that line a little bit, because he's had a couple get between his glove and the bag. And it's now a 4-1 lead for Miami.
Well, the Canes are just wearing that left side out. He says probably about the 4th or 5th ball they've hit down that way. And scoring easily is the speedy Mark Walker.
And credit the stolen base for playing a large factor in the run. Carlton Jimerson now the hitter. And he is 2 for 2, hitting in the number 9 hole. And it seems the number 9 hole has given the Gators some problems. I guess we'd notice that more than other players, but number 9 has been far from easy over the last few years. But then again, as we talked, a lot of teams have kind of that secondary leadoff man there anyway. It's not like a number 9 that you might think of when you're picking sides for a softball game.
And you go there.
The chopper, this will be tough. Siegel charging. Made the tough play look easy. On the play, Grubbs advances to third base. 2 away.
Good pitch by Matty, and Jimerson, with his speed, makes this thing a challenge.
Number 17.
Swinging bunt. And Siegel does a nice job getting his hands and feet together and makes a nice throw. Has to feel that ball up around the belt area, and sometimes that gets tricky because it really handcuffs you. Does a nice job fluidly getting rid of that pit.
Now this is the guy now McClendon really has to have. Leadoff man Bobby Hill. Dangerous hitter there. 2 for 3 today. You know, they'd love to get that 5th run in. A runner at third with 2 out. This will be for Matt McClendon his 100th pitch of the game.
Andy'd like to see him just bear down and get Bobby Hill right here. He said 100 pitches. But you do like your chances a little better with Seaver on deck than Hill. You got a base open at first base.
1-1 the count. That's fouled off the right side. The Gators have some action down in the bullpen now as sophomore right-hander Keith Bryce, Miami native, played at Westminster Christian, begins to loosen up.
All these Westminster Christian players you find in Rich Hoffman's alum. Rich Hoffman now at Westminster Academy in Fort Lauderdale.
1-2 pitch. Turned him away. 2-2. Miami is 3-0 this year. They beat Berry College 8-3 on January 26th. Then beat Stetson behind Santos 12-1 and 4-3 on January 29th and January 30th. Here's the 2-2 pitch. And low, full count.
As we said, he's got a base open, so he doesn't necessarily have to groove this pitch.
Canes have scored at least 1 run in each of the last 3 half innings now. Ground ball out to Keene at second. And on to first to Shealy to retire the side. For the Canes, though, another run on 2 hits, a man left. Last of the 6th coming. It's now Miami 4 and the Gators 1.
Are you bored and looking for a fun, competitive weekend adventure? Hoop It Up, the official 3-on-3 of the NBA, has a division for you. Who will you be playing against? People of your own age, height, and playing ability. Are you tired of calling your own fouls? Hoop It Up has referees on all courts. Hoop It Up, 10 years of action, 10 years of outrageous fun.
The 99 Jacksonville Hoop It Up returns to Coastline Drive March 13th and 14th with referees on all courts. Entry forms are available at area Foot Locker stores.
Fishing for a deal on a new outboard motor? Get up to $700 cash back when you buy a new Suzuki outboard from 9.9 to 225 horsepower by March 31st. Use the cash to get away on a little fishing trip, buy some new tackle, even use it to buy Suzuki's Extended Protection Plan. See your participating Florida Suzuki Marine dealer today and say, "Gimme cash."
On SunshineNetwork.com, offering news, notes, opinions, and daily sports articles written by some of the state's best sports columnists and reporters. SunshineNetwork.com, your web source for Florida sports. Nick Belmonte, Mick Hubert back at the ballpark. We move to the top of the 7th inning, and a new pitcher coming on for the Gators. It'll be right-hander Keith Bryce. As the Gators trailing it 4-3 here in the 7th. And Bryce comes on in relief of the starter, Matt McClendon.
Another Westminster Christian ball player. Last year really got into 1 game, only pitched 1 inning. There's Jason Dill. He moves from left field to first base as Shealy comes out, and Floyd stays in and now patrols left. Bryce is a fastball, curve, changeup, mid-80s type of guy, but as his curveball goes, so goes Keith Bryce. Really has to have the good one to be effective.
Brian Sieber leading it off for Miami. He is 0 for 2, had a sacrifice his last trip. Miami last year had a 26-game winning streak from March 6th through April 22nd, en route to a 51-12 record. There's a swing and a miss. And also that number 26 cropped up for Miami. They made their 26th straight regional appearance. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Struck him out. A good start for Bryce. That's the 4th Cane to strike out today.
Breaking ball was a dandy. So he's coming on with the good breaking ball today. At least he's shown it the first hitter, Sieber. See the bottom drop out of that. Sieber swinging over the top. And the Gators need someone in this role to take over.
Manny Crespo has been a thorn in the side of Florida today. 3 for 3 with a single, home run, and double. He has as many hits today as he had in the first 3 games total.
This was the role that Grzelowski had last year, kind of a setup guy for Josh Fogg. And Bryce might be one of those guys to set up Grzelowski.
Ball 1 and strike 1. And a strike call to the outside corner. Good location on the last pitch.
Yeah, this thing's right on the corner fastball right there, and that's going to help when he throws the breaking ball.
A little bit low there.
That's good discipline right there. You know, Crespo, already an accomplished hitter, just a sophomore. That's a tough pitch right there to lay off of.
Two and two the count. Struck him out. Two hitters up, two hitters down. Bryce twice as nice. 2 strikeouts.
You see him pull the head right here. Looking for something more inside, and he got him to chase. He's dropping those curveballs in there and getting the strike call. That's a great way to start against these hitters.
One and one to Esquivel. 1 hit in 3 at-bats today. The Miami cleanup hitter. Looking ahead to the last of the 7th inning for the Gators, it'll be the number 9 hitter. Then back to the top of the batting order.
He throws him a 2-1 breaking ball here. Uh-oh. I don't know what that was. You hold on to it too long.
Johannes might not have known either. Now there's a right-hander for the Gators, Alex Hart, down in that bullpen.
Second round pick of the Baltimore Orioles.
Bouncing ball, Ellis at short. Dill at first, familiar from last year. So Bryce comes in and puts him down 1-2-3. It's time for a 7th inning stretch with the score of Miami 4 and the Gators 3.
Homeowners, now you can have the best garden in your neighborhood with tasty vegetables, beautiful flowers, fresh herbs, and your favorite plants, but without all the backbreaking work. Introducing the all-new line of legendary Troy-Bilt tillers, now with a tiller for every garden and budget. Built to last a lifetime, one of the secrets of Troy-Bilt's superior performance is the patented Bolo Tines that chop and bury organic matter to improve your soil, so everything you plant grows healthier and stronger. Call and discover how the Troy-Bilt tiller makes it easier to prepare soil and to care for your garden with less work. Learn how when you send for your free 52-page Great Gardens catalog today. Call now and we'll also send details about Troy-Bilt's limited time offer of free financing, free shipping, and a free bumper.
For your free catalog and information about our new line of Best Built, Best Buy Troy-Bilt tillers, call toll-free 1-800-898-3600. That's 1-800-898-3600. Call now.
4 runs, 12 hits for Miami. 3 runs, 6 hits for the Gators. Bottom half of the 7th as a big crowd stretches for the 7th inning here. And a new pitcher coming on for Miami now as they bring out of the bullpen Brian Walker, a left-hander. 4 1/3 innings, allowing 4 hits this year. Brian Walker in relief of the starter Alex Santos, who departs knowing he can win the game and cannot lose the game.
Walker, fastball, curveball, changeup pitcher. Definitely a contrast here to what we've seen from Alex Santos. Probably not going to be as hard, and obviously throwing from the other side.
Matt Goss will lead it off. 0 for 2. Swings on the first pitch. Has it bounce to the right side. Crespo covers some ground, though. And a close play. He retires Goss, who's 0 for 3 in the game. And good beginning there for Walker. 1 pitch, 1 out. Now it's back to the top of the batting order, and Mark Ellis stepping in, looking for his first hit. Ellis, nothing for 3. with one ground ball and 2 fly balls. One into right, the other into left. Ellis holds the Gator record for hitting 3 home runs in a game. Did that against South Florida back in the '97 season. For his career, he has 26 home runs, hitting 14 of them last year. Well, now Walker has missed twice, and so Jacobson goes to the mound.
Walker actually was teammates with Bryce, Keith Bryce from the University of Florida at Westminster Christian. Might as well just have their whole program up here today, playing it with these 2 fine schools.
2 balls, no strikes. That ball driven into left center field, hit pretty well. Jimerson back, Seaver back, the ball back, and it is gone. A home run for Mark Ellis. Oh my! It's a 4-4 score. Ellis with a towering home run, 380 feet away in left center field.
It's just a matter of time before Mark Ellis does something spectacular. And 7th inning, game-tying home run, goes down and gets it. Ball's hit over 400 feet, deepest part of the ballpark.
Well, now the momentum has clearly shifted to the Gator dugout because Bryce comes in and sets down the Canes 1-2-3, and then the Gators tie the game off the Miami reliever Walker. And they've battled back also from a 4-1 deficit to forge this 4-4 deadline. Now here's Matt Siegel.
Well, it's quite a drop-off. I mean, you get a guy like Santos out there, and then you get into an untested guy and put him on the road. A definite advantage Gators.
Ground ball out to second, and Crespo again. And out again. 2 gone. Well, it's the largest ever opening day attendance in the history of Florida baseball. 5,169 in all of the seats and standing along the railings here at the ballpark. It's the 5th largest crowd ever, too, by the way. 5,169. Here to watch the Gators and the Canes, and the same 2 teams will be right back here tomorrow. Tomorrow's game begins at 1:30. 0-1 to Jason Dill. Another ground ball, but it takes a hop on Crespo out into right field. Bad hop single.
Yeah, you got to score that here because it really ate him up.